Headlines of the hour and our top story. US President Donald Trump says he may be working on a joint denuclearization plan with China and Russia, though he provided no specific details. Speaking at the American Business Forum in Miami, Trump highlighted US nuclear strength, calling America the #1 nuclear power, followed by Russia and China. He added that Beijing could catch up within 4 or 5 years. Let's take a listen in to the US president's statements.
We make the best equipment, the best missiles, the best rockets, the best everything. We redid our nuclear. We're the #1 nuclear power, which I hate to admit because it's so horrible. It's such a horrible situation if it ever has to be used. Russia's second. China's a distant third, but they'll catch us within 4 or 5 years. They want to catch us, and they'll be able to catch us, and we're maybe working on a plan to denuclearize the 3 of us, so we'll see if that works. But we have the strongest military anywhere in the world by far. We're investing $1 trillion in the United States Armed Forces this year. It's the biggest amount we've ever invested.
Now, Trump's comments come as Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered a detailed review of proposals for potential nuclear test preparations in Russia. Putin reiterated that Russia remains committed to the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, but warned that Moscow would respond in kind if Washington or any other nuclear power resumes tests. Now joining us to discuss this is Andrew K. Leung. He's a China strategist and he joins us live from Hong Kong. Andrew, thank you for joining us. Following Trump's statements, how realistic is the idea of denuclearization between these powers, Moscow, Beijing and Washington?
Well, first of all, the nuclear warheads of the United States and Russia and China, they have now become more advanced, much more advanced and much more powerful than those dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to end the Second World War, multiple times more powerful. And then, of course, each country has enough warheads to destroy the world several times over. The United States has about less than 4,000 warheads. Russia has slightly more than 4,000. And China is less than even 1,000. But it's not just the number. As I said, these warheads are so powerful that they destroy the world several times over. However, it's not just the warheads, it's the delivery system. Now, both Russia and China have got hypersonic delivery systems.
Yes.
And intercontinental missiles. So that's in the delivery system that President Trump is trying to catch up with. But of course, his suggestion to denuclearize is a good one, because there's no point for other countries to stockpile their nuclear armament. And that could lead to a very dangerous world.
Andrew, given the geopolitical tensions right now between, of course, these 3 nuclear superpowers, how likely is it that the 3 reach an agreement to denuclearize?
I think that, don't forget the denuclearization pact with Iran was jettisoned by Trump twice. But of course, that Iran is expected of delivering its nuclear weapons. And as I said, China doesn't want, nor Russia, want a world where different countries are developing their nuclear weapons, and that will lead to a very dangerous world. So I think that there's room for the 3 countries to agree on some sort of protocol. But I think that also Trump is wanting to enhance the United States delivering systems. It's put on notice by Russia's recent display of its underwater nuclear power drones that Putin says can't be stopped. So I think that there is a bit of rivalry there as well.
Yes, Andrew, thank you. Do stay with us. We have further news coming out of China, where Beijing's top trade negotiator, Li Chenggang, has urged the United States to help create what he called a favorable atmosphere for agricultural cooperation between the 2 nations. Speaking in Beijing to a visiting US agricultural trade delegation, Li said recent fluctuations in agricultural trade stemmed from unilateral tariffs imposed by Washington. The two sides discussed broader economic and trade relations, with both expressing hope for stable cooperation. The talks, of course, come after last week's Xi-Trump meeting in South Korea, where Beijing pledged to resume bulk purchases of US soybeans. That is at least 12 million tons over the next 2 months and a minimum of 25 million tons annually for the next 3 years. At the International Import Expo in Shanghai, Premier Li Qiang reaffirmed China's commitment to opening its market. The US agricultural industry is showcasing products from 19 producers, underscoring efforts to revive trade ties. Andrew, when it comes down to agricultural products specifically, does this signal Beijing's attempt to stabilize relations after months of this tariff uncertainty?
Months of tariff war is hurting both countries, frankly. On the United States, it depends on China as the world's biggest customer for agricultural products. And China has always been the largest customer of American soybeans. And the soybeans states in the American Midwest is the Republican Party's main political supporter. So I think that this opens up a platform where both countries can start to cooperate. China, after the trade war, is now repivoting its purchases from Brazil and restoring to its former position as the biggest customer of American soybeans. So I think that also through that position, Beijing wants to hope to moderate at least some of the anti-China policies of the second Trump administration.
Yes, okay. Andrew KP Leung, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on the programme, as always. Now, as China is set to host the 2026 APEC summit, debate has